Big news. Brenton Sanderson sacked as coach of the Adelaide Crows is reporting Gerard Whateley. Joining us on the line, Gerard Whateley from our grandstand team. Gerard, what have you heard today?
Michael, I've got multiple sources at the club, including from the leadership group and within the coaching staff, who are of the belief that Brenton Sanderson has been sacked as the Adelaide coach. As things stand, his management group is unaware of the development, but this has been unfolding over the past few hours, and I would imagine over the past couple of days. But messages are being exchanged within the player group at the moment as they steadily become aware of what has taken place, and there are meetings at the club being held right now.
Now, what do you know? What you went with this story.
Yeah, I know.
What have you learned?
I know this is driven by the leadership group. I know they expressed a view that Sanderson didn't hold the line that they had put in place for the year.
What do you know what that line was?
In the way that he prepared the team, in the way that they reviewed games, in the way that he instructed them, and some relationships, steadily broke down over the course of the year.
To sport, and in the AFL, the Gold Coast Suns have sacked coach Guy McKenna. Gerard Whateley has this exclusive report.
Gold Coast chairman John Witheroff told Guy McKenna yesterday the club wouldn't honour the final year of his coaching contracts. While a football department review had been completed, it's understood a critical mass of the Suns board didn't believe McKenna should continue on regardless of its contents. A public statement has been prepared by the Suns, and McKenna is currently making contact with support staff and players. Gerard Whateley, ABC News.
I spoke with Brendan McCartney exclusively last night and started by asking him when he felt the tide had turned irreparably against him.
Probably yesterday. Probably got to a point where you think, well, are you doing the club any service by staying? Yeah, yesterday to me it looked like, that was Thursday, it looked like that it'd be difficult to keep pushing on as the coach.
What specifically got you to that point?
Probably the continual doubts and doubts internally about whether I could take the group forward and go forward with the group. That's how I read it, without being given, every minute detail. But that was my gut feel that, I had some doubts that I was the right bloke to take them forward, or, they were a group that were prepared to go forward with me.
Did you think they'd actually got through that and then things have been revisited? Is that your sense?
I think Ryan leaving and making the decision to leave, I think that probably stirred the hornet's nest up a bit.
Did you think that you'd reached peace with Ryan Griffin at the meeting with you and Chris Grant?
I still felt some money. Yeah, I did. I still thought he was probably dealing with a few things in relation to his relationship with me and the captaincy, and I think he reached a point in his career, like everyone, where he looked and thought, well, how much time have I got left, and what's around me and what's coming up underneath me? And it's been well documented. We've had that gap in our list through that middle 20s for a while now, and I think that caused him a bit of apprehension. But it sounds like in reflection he's had other things on his mind too, and that's what's unfolded this week. But I understand that. That's the modern game. That's footy. People looking for the new frontier.
When did you become aware that Ryan was wanted out of the club?
Oh, not until probably a couple of weeks after the season. Since that 1 to 3 week period after the season, I sensed he was probably dealing with a few things, and yeah.
Were you shocked when it was formal that he wanted out?
Oh, yes and no. You talk to your list manager and you're recruiting people and people that are mixing with other clubs, and you get a little inkling that things may be unfolding around you. Often the coach is the last one to find out, Gerard.
Yep.
More often than not.
Yeah. Once that happened, once his management released the statement, what process was gone through? Were you spoken to at all? When I was with Jason when the management called, so it makes you feel a little crook in the stomach when you hear that, and then set the wheels in motion and we arrive at where we are today. Did you think you could have healed the group as it is, or did you feel like it actually had run away from you a bit?
No, I thought I could have chipped away at it. I thought it could have been restructuring the footy department and freeing me up more. There is a real lesson in this for every footy club that the senior coach does less and less coaching than ever now, and less opportunity to work one-on-one and build relationships with players, and it's even more important that that's in play when teams aren't winning or clubs are in a position where they're not winning as often as they'd like, because there's this really simple rule: is if you're not winning games, people will find something wrong with you. That's never been any different. So I've got no doubt we could have worked through a lot of things, but I respect decisions that have been made, and I'd like people to respect the decision I've made. And I've always believed whatever role you've got, the club comes first, and what's best for the club, and that's why the decision was made by myself.